This is Tin Caps Baseball on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Getting ready to go for the series opener here at Day Air Ballpark in Dayton, Ohio. Jaden Taylor, glad to have you with us here on the Tin Caps On Deck pregame show presented by Hoopie Insurance Services. Here at Tin Caps manager in Jonathan Mathews. You took on this team less than a month ago, able to split that series back at home. What did you learn across that 6-game set that you take over into this series on the road?
They swing the bats. They have a good baseball team. They're in a playoff hunt. We split with them last time we played them, and we're going to have to play just as well to either split or win this series, hopefully.
Here on the road, not quite going to be in a playoff contention spot right now in the final week and a half of this season. Do you think this group is trying to be a little bit of a spoiler, play as the spoiler against these Dragons, trying to win the first half in the East Division?
I think they better. We had a chat today. The last couple of weeks, the win-loss wasn't as big of a thing for me, but I just didn't love the product that we were putting out on the field. The energy was not where I kind of wanted it to be, so we talked about that today in the clubhouse a little bit. So, yeah, I think it's a good clubhouse. It's a good group of guys. I think they just need reminded about, going out and competing every night. So, hopefully they'll take that into this series this week.
Outside of the energy and specific competing, what do you think are the specific things this group needs to work on into this series?
We're going to have to do a better job of throwing strikes. That last series, I think over the last 3 or 4 nights, we walked, upwards of 30-some guys. And so that's not a recipe for winning. So we're going to have to throw the ball over the plate. Dayton, their group over there doesn't chase a ton, so we're going to have to attack the strike zone with conviction. And our bullpen guys have the stuff to do that. It's just a matter of throwing it over the white thing.
Specifically in the bullpen, I think a real key contributor recently has been Tucker Musgrove, just 2 runs allowed in his last 11 outings. He's averaging 2 strikeouts per frame. I think you knew going into this season the stuff that was there, but it's really played well across these last couple of weeks.
It has, and command has been a big thing for him historically. And so, again, when he throws it over the plate, his stuff is as good as anybody in this league. And, 99-mile-an-hour heater and then a sharp slider. And if he can throw them in the strike zone, then he's going to have success, and he's been doing that lately.
Clay Edmondson, a tough outing last Friday, but again, he's still been one of the best in all of minor league baseball in terms of the guys in the back end of the bullpen. Weird night with the ball flying and the wind carrying out to right and left center. What's the conversation with Clay to kind of get the confidence back up?
Just that if we have a lead in the 9th inning, he's going to get the ball again. I think it was in Cedar Rapids where he gave up the lead one night, and we didn't play great behind him. I think we kicked the ball or whatever, but and then the one the other night. I think he knows that we have confidence in him, and if we have a lead in the 9th inning and if he's available that night, he's getting the baseball.
Tin Caps manager and Jonathan Mathews. Offensively, it was all about Jake Cunningham this past week, and 3 home runs, the 4th player in franchise history to have 3 home runs in a game on Friday, backed it up once again on Sunday. I think the most complete thing about that was he sent all 4 home runs basically in different directions, one to the pole side, one to the opposite field, one nearly to dead center field. What have you seen in Jake this season?
Just that. It's big juice to all parts of the field. Our pro scouting director was in town last week, and he asked me, he said, I know he's who went out and signed Jake. And he said, I know Jake's got some homers, but he said, is he still showing any power to right and right center? Well, then, of course, he hit at least 2 homers that way in front of him, so that kind of checked that box. But he's very toolsy. He runs, he plays defense, he can throw, and then obviously the bat, he's got some juice. So I think he's enjoying himself here. He's performing. He hasn't had a ton of success in the minor leagues prior to this year, so I think he's enjoying coming to the ballpark, and I certainly enjoy putting his name in the lineup.
First year into the system for him. You said earlier in this year you didn't know a ton about him. He may be kind of a role-playing guy coming off the bench here and there. How much has his role grown, and how much confidence have you had in him across these last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think coming into the season, a lot of times we'll get instructions, so-and-so is supposed to play 4 nights a week, and somebody else plays 3 and then gets a day off and then whatever. I didn't really have any instructions for Jake. So it was, maybe he plays a couple of times a week. So we started out that way, and then he was one of our better hitters. And so now he gets Mondays off. And otherwise he's going to be in the lineup.
What does his offensive output add to the rest of this group? How does he kind of lead by example in that way?
You know what? He's started to speak up in our hitter meetings. The guys listen to him. I think because he doesn't talk a lot. He's pretty quiet. So when he does say something, I think they listen. And then also he's having success. So, but yeah, he protects other guys in our lineup. Let's say Alex McCoy, he protects him, depending on where he's hitting in the order. But his bat in the middle of the order, whether it's third through fifth or sixth, that's a section of the lineup where we always feel like we have a chance to score some runs.
Matthew Watson on the bump tonight, last time out 7 strikeouts. Talk a little bit about the resiliency that he had in his last appearance. Tough first inning that came back out and retired near the last 10 that he faced to end off his last frame. How big was that for him in that Tuesday night win last week?
Yeah, it was impressive. He gave up, was it 4 maybe in the first? And then the rest of the way, I think he might have faced 1 over the minimum. So yeah, very impressive. I was anxious to see how he would come back out, and we needed him to. On a Tuesday, if you have to go to the bullpen super early, that can set you back for the rest of the week. So those were big innings out of Waddy, and then the fact that we came back and won the baseball game made it even better. But yeah, that was an outing where he grew up a lot, and gave us innings that we desperately needed.
You talk about on the pitching side, you need to be able to basically just throw the ball with a white thing. Offensively, what's the biggest emphasis to get a win here tonight?
Hit it when it's over the white thing. I think I was looking today, Lake County, the team that we just played last week, their offense had the lowest chase in all of high A, and you could tell. There were pitches that we were throwing just off the edge of the plate that they were not biting at. And they forced us over the plate, and we didn't throw it if we didn't throw it over the plate, they took their walks. So a similar type approach for us. I think we have guys with bat to ball. If we swing at the right pitches, I know I say that all the time, but that's kind of a fact. If we swing at the right pitches and don't swing at the wrong ones, that's going to give us our best chance of success.
Sounds good, Johnny. Appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Starting Lamb's first pitch coming up next here on Tin Caps on Deck.
Podcasts by Federated Media.